Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Bat. Oh my gosh, I almost said Bat Calls, Balls, and Brawls. It must be thinking about me.
New episode.
This. Welcome to another episode of the SoFlo Sports Show. You know why I said that is because I was going through my old stickers, and all my old stickers says
The bad calls,
balls and brawls,
brawls.
and I'm like, this is so sad. I got to get rid of these stickers, and so. I'm still thinking about you, Bad Calls, Balls, and Brawls. We've had some really good episodes, but you and I are no longer a couple. Anyways, guys, I hope you're having a great week. We are at Thursday. This week is flying by, if I do say so myself.
It is, and we got, as always, a loaded plate. We got a lot going on in the world of sports, and specifically with our SoFlo sports teams, right? A lot of action going on. None bigger than training camp. So, a lot going on as always.
Yeah, no, obviously the news, the talk of the town is training camp. We are in the heart of it. Last year at this time, and we were telling people before, we were not here. We were on our summer vacation last year at this time. We were in beautiful Ohio seeing our beloved Zach Thomas get inducted into the Hall of Fame. And obviously this year we didn't have the opportunity to go because we didn't have a Dolphin going in this year, but we listened to the show on the radio. Oh, I know what you're going to say when you went like this. I'm going to finish his thought right now. He went like this because he was going to say, although there are no Dolphins, there were two guys from the U. Is that what you're going to say?
I was.
Okay.
I was going to say that we didn't have a Dolphin this year, but we hope to have a Dolphin next year.
Oh, okay.
We are trying to get Richmond Webb into the Hall of Fame, and we're going to keep on doing it. We will be in Houston this year, which happens to be where Richmond lives.
Yeah.
And so we are definitely going to try to continue to push our campaign to get Richmond Webb to the Hall of Fame. But yes, to your point.
And your point, actually, that I stole.
Yes. Two great Miami Hurricanes, two of the best that ever did it in Hurricane colors in the green and orange. Devin Hester.
Yes.
And Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson, speaking of the Texans, he played with the Texans for bunch of years and a perennial Pro Bowler, did amazing things and obviously did great things before that at the University of Miami, as did Devin Hester. Devin Hester, the first of his kind, really going in as a special teams player who you could not punt or kick the ball to. One of his, I wanted to post about this, but one of his most iconic moments is even though he lost the Super Bowl to the Colts right here in Miami, he returned a punt in that game for a touchdown. And one of the most iconic shots in Super Bowl history, again, despite the loss, is him looking at the Jumbotron as he's running and looking at himself with nobody behind him. So Devin Hester was so fast. Tyreek is fast, but man, Devin Hester, you could not stop that guy if he was in the open field.
Yeah, and so with Canton this year, kind of going back to that, last year when we were there, the weather was good. We had good weather. Yep. However, this year they had a major delay. They had a huge rainstorm that actually pushed back the speeches. So we were listening to it on the radio, and they kept saying how it was being delayed, which actually messes up everything because it just keeps pushing things back. But we listened to the speeches on the radio, and they were beautiful. I teared up with a few of them.
Well, speaking of weather, why don't you tell them why we listen to the speeches on the weather? Because and the storm is still going. We're talking about Debbie here.
Yeah.
Give us a weather update.
So last weekend, I told Lou we need to go on you know how people have like honeymoons? Now they do baby moons. We needed to do a football moon. Like we needed to do something before football season. So I told Lou that we were going to go up. Well, I recommended a few things. I said New York, Dominican Republic, Mexico. He's like, Ash, dole it down a little bit. So I was like, all right, we're going to go to Sarasota and Naples. I kind of wanted to go up the coast and then dip down, kind of like a roller coaster. So me being the amazing meteorologist that I am, I was tracking the storm all week. And I'm like, Lou, it's not looking too good. And he's like, should we cancel? I said, no. We can't cancel. Like, there's no extra week we can do this. So I had to improvise. So what I decided was right after camp on Friday, we were going to drive up to Sarasota because I knew if we got to Sarasota by like 5, we'd still have all night Friday and half a Saturday to enjoy Sarasota. And we did. We had a great time to Sarasota. Driving up to Sarasota, we stopped at where we were going to spend Saturday and Sunday in Naples.
But we couldn't because we had to switch because, as Desi's saying, we are storm chasers.
Yes.
So we had to get out of Dodge and not go to Naples Saturday.
But Lou had to feed his belly and his heart. So we stopped at Shula's. I made a video of it today. The video is from last week, but we stopped at Shula's in Naples, Florida at the Hilton. and we had a lunch there. So if you want more details about the place, go to my social media. I posted a whole video about that. So we made it up to Sarasota, checked in, and our hotel was stunning. Also made a video on that, the Embassy Suites. And then I was like, Lou, we're going to see the most amazing sunset. And he was like, we could see it here. I said, nah, bro, we are going to Siesta Key. Now, for those who know, Siesta Key is like world famous. It's known for being one of the most beautiful sunsets in the world. And I just felt bad because Lou just drove 3.5 hours. I'm like, you got to drive 10 minutes more. So we went down, and it was like the most stunning sunset. So the walk from the parking lot into the water, it's like a whole walk. And then there was like a storm coming in, but it was like an act of God where it just like stopped.
Yeah, right before this.
And then these clouds took over. So then we saw like the most wonderful sunset. And then we had a great night in downtown Sarasota. We went drinking this Hawaiian place. We had a great time. We woke up on Saturday, and Lou and I did something that we have never done together. I don't think he's ever done it in probably 40 years. I sure as heck have
4 years.
4 years. I haven't done it in about 10 years. We rented bikes and we rode a good hour and a half through Sarasota, through the marina. We found a farmer's market. So long story short, if you guys are ever on the west coast of Florida, highly, highly, highly recommend Sarasota, Florida. It is stunning. It is gorgeous. Amazing. So continuing on with that story.
Well, can I just back up really quick because you mentioned Shula's.
Okay.
Shula's unbelievable. I mean, memorabilia all over. I know you posted the video, so that was cool. I brought back these napkins that have some cool Shula quotes, so that was pretty cool. And I also got a Shula mint. So they got these little mints there, shulas.com. So I was able to get those as memorabilia. And
wait, why is Chef saying a picture? This is our backyard, Chef. This is not a picture. We live here. What are you talking about? This is our backyard. There's no pictures here. But
shout out to Kirk in the room and Desi.
Everybody's here, man. Looking good, Lou.
Robert.
UK. Talking about UK, Robert, hang with me because I'm going to give you the medal count from Great Britain real soon. So we're going to do a little British.
Do an Olympic update. But shout out to everybody in the room. Definitely. If you get a chance, please don't forget, if you haven't already, to subscribe and like tonight's show. It means a lot. We'll go a long way. So we appreciate you guys. Kurt mentioned the Bobblehead Museum. We were, of course, at the Marlins game yesterday.
Yes.
And we directed him to the Bobblehead Museum, which is pretty one of the only highlights of attending the Marlins game.
Oh, stop it. I had so much fun.
So I'm glad he was able to enjoy that.
So they want to know what happened after Sarasota. So you're thinking, Ash, Lou, it's 12 o'clock on Saturday. You're in Sarasota. What do you do next? Tropical storms there. So Ash already had that planned. We knew we weren't staying in Sarasota, and we can't go down Naples at this point because I almost said Sandy. I'm thinking of Sandy Alcantara. Think of me too. Debbie was going up the coast. So I already knew that on Saturday night, we were not going to be on the West Coast. So I booked us a hotel in Singer Island, which is just north of West Palm Beach. So we had to cross the state of Florida. Now you think crossing a state, you think kind of small, right? Hour or two. Let me tell you how chunky the middle of Florida is. This Florida is super, super chunky in the middle. So we had to take Route 60, I believe it was, across the state. So that route, it's not your typical highway. It is all back roads and cows. You would think you're in Oklahoma, which is pretty ironic since we saw Twister a week ago.
That's right. That's what I felt that was driving through that. And not only cows, we also saw gators.
Gators.
That were run over. Yeah. Gators on the side of the road.
So we drove, Lou drove, and then we stopped. There's only one town pretty much in the middle, and it's called Arcadia. And people have heard of Arcadia, but they don't really know what it is. Arcadia is a small town. They're really known for having shows at the National or the Antique Roadshow. So if you hear the Antique Roadshow, most of it is taped in Arcadia.
What they're really known for is having the most antique shops per capita because there was like 14 of them. And we actually went to about half of them, and we walked away with some cool stuff.
So here's the thing. I really appreciate thrift stores. My nonna is a huge thrift store person, and I grew up shopping at thrift stores. But I always felt like antiques were like old stuff. Let me tell you, our philosophy on antiques drastically changed. Either we aged 60 years older this weekend, but when you say antiques, I went in there on a mission. I didn't want like Tupperware or China, this and that. My thing is sport antiques. So I said, shoot, there might be some Marlins, Heat, Panthers things in these stores. Sure enough, long story short, we found Coca-Cola bottles from the 1997 Marlins championship, the inaugural Panther season, the 2003 Marlins. They wanted originally $10 per pack of 6. We bought 5. They charged us $15 for all of them. So we are officially antiquers.
I got some baseball cards
Yeah.
too, unopened packs, so that was pretty cool. And the highlight for me, I know that the sports stuff was pretty cool, but
I love that
my
stuff.
dad had a 1957 Chevy, and so they had these real cool original
Replicas,
models.
yeah.
And so I was able to get my dad one like the one that he had when he was a teenager. So that was pretty cool to find out.
So then we made it to Singer Island, probably around 5 o'clock, checked into our hotel. The weather started getting nasty, so we went out to dinner. We went to this awesome restaurant that had live music. So not only are we into antique, and we're also into live music. So I'm pretty sure we're halfway in the retirement home at this point, which is fine because I never was into that stuff recently. Now I like live music and antique stores.
I'd always love to support live music, and unfortunately, Miami just doesn't have a lot of active live music scene.
It's different.
Fort Lauderdale does a little bit, and Palm Beach,
not
but
as much as what we've seen.
Miami just doesn't have that anymore. There used to be a spot, Tobacco Road, for those of you locals, or those of you listening later that are locals. Tobacco Road was an unbelievable place, and actually, fun story about Tobacco Road. I was there one night upstairs in the amateur lounge, if you will. They were having people come in and just it was a singing.
Okay,
it's not a strip club. Sorry, but
I'm like, dude, I don't hear this.
They had local artists coming up and doing poetry. Most of it was music, and the host came out. I already know that Russ is getting ready with a comment.
What's the point? Amateur night host.
The point is this. So I'm up there. There's about 7 people in this room that fits about 20 people, and it's just amateur, musicians coming up. All of a sudden, the host comes up, the MC comes up and says, "Hey guys, I hope you don't mind, but there's a guy here who wants to get on and try some material. So I hope you guys don't mind, all 7 of you. Here's Jimmy Buffett." So Jimmy Buffett comes out and does like an hour set in this place for 7 people. And I just couldn't believe my mind. And, I didn't have my phone, so I didn't capture this. But yeah, Jimmy Buffett played before 7 people at Tobacco Road. But definitely live music is something that Miami needs to bring back.
Yeah, so we had a great weekend. But yeah, last year at this time we were in Canton, so we didn't make up for our Miss Canton trip this year, but we had a really great weekend and we did not get stuck in the storm. And on the way home, we stopped in West Palm Beach, which is another great spot. We never get up to West Palm Beach. I mean, it's an hour away, but it is so many hidden jewels. We had a great lunch and passed through someone's mansion up there who lives not too far from there, and actually saw him coming in. So a lot of good things. So let's talk Olymp.
So Chef Ju says it's raining in Broward right now.
It can be raining 5 minutes across
I know,
the
but
street.
I'm saying it's great here right now.
So
so
it's not. It's dark.
Hope it's all right over there, Chef Ju, and hope there's not any flooding like usually.
It's probably raining in our backyard right now. It's Florida. What's the joke that they say? If you don't like the weather in Florida, wait 5 minutes
and it'll pass.
It'll pass. So Florida's a very funny place. All right, so we are in the heart of the Olympics. It is hot and heavy, and a lot of things are going on right now. Today, right now, I am wearing my Italy shirt. Italy is doing decent in the medal count. Go ahead.
Shout out to Lou in the house.
Oh, my favorite Lou. My favorite Lou in the house.
You are her favorite Lou.
My favorite Lou. You are.
Look, it's pouring also. Desi's saying it's pouring. But it's pouring.
Guys, it'll be over in 5 minutes.
Where Desi's at, but then it's sunny in Davie. I mean, that's if you don't get Miami weather, that's pretty much it right there.
And it's like dark to our east, sunny to our north, and probably pouring from our south.
There are times when you're driving in South Florida and there's like a huge rain cloud coming up, and then you look in your rear view mirror or your side view mirror, and it's sunny right behind you. So it's Florida weather. What can you do?
So the Olympics, every 4 years, and here we are. It is the 2024 Paris Olympics. Right now, the United States of America is leading. They're not only leading the medal count, we're actually leading the gold count as well.
You're damn right we are, because we're Americans. That's damn is not a curse word.
The language.
You are damn right we are leading the Olympics because we are America, baby. We are America, and we're leading. What's the medal? I'll give you the gold count. I don't care about medals. What's the gold count? That's the one I care about.
So United States currently has 27 gold medals.
Is that number one?
You're
damn right it's number one because we're America.
I just said we're leading the medal count and also the gold count. So we're leading everything.
Of course we are.
So let me share. What else? We have some people from Great Britain here. I want to share everything.
I'm sorry. I'm not.
Respect.
I do.
Okay.
I support the UK.
So
that's right. Kirk's with me. USA. USA.
United States is leading with 27 gold medals, 35 silver medals, and 32 bronze medals, which equal currently 94 medals altogether. The People's Republic of China are right on our high knees. They have 25 gold medals, 23 silver medals, and 17 bronze, which is leading 65. So they're not really on our high knee because obviously we have 94, they have 65, but with gold count, is right there.
Guess what?
Great Britain.
Guess what? We got more gold medals coming, so they could be right on our tail. We're getting more gold.
All right, so Great Britain, we have a lot of Dolphin fans, friends.
We do.
Who are they're British. We got to say that is what it is.
Somebody posted that today. That I saw a post that said that all the regions in Europe and the UK is
the highest.
Predominantly Dolphin.
Yeah, I don't know. We have an amazing fan club up there. I mean,
we've played there several times.
Amazing.
We've played there 4 times.
Amazing people. So Great Britain I say that respectfully. They have 12 gold medals, 17 silver, and 20 bronze. So they have 49. So again, United States is 94. Great Britain has 49.
And that's exactly why they couldn't take this country over. I'm sorry. But we love Great Britain, but USA, baby, all the way.
But I also just want to break it down a little more for you guys. With USA, our gold medals come from artistic gymnastics. We have 3. We have 6 in athletics, which I don't know what athletics is, but it just says athletics. No, it's not everything.
Broad term.
Then we have 1 in cycling road, 1 in cycling track. We have 2 in fencing, which would actually, if I was to be in the Olympics, I think I'd be a fencer. We have 1 in golf. We saw that. We have 1 in rowing, 1 in shooting. We have 1 in surfing, which they are
1
actually
in what? Shooting? shooting. Okay.
Surfing. They are surfing in Fiji, or is it Fiji? It is. It is not. It's an island very far away. I know that. We are dominated in swimming. Our women have done excellent in swimming, 8, and then wrestling has 2. I'm thinking the athletics is probably the athletics. No, I'm telling you exactly what it is.
It's their baseball team in Oakland.
No, right? This is what athletics is. Athletics is like it tells you right here. It tells you it's Noah Lyles, it's the running. Quincy Hall, it's the runners. Yeah, Sha'Carri Richardson, it's the runners.
Yep.
So that makes
Chef
sense.
Drew mentions that he hopes that people can travel. You could travel with the Dolphins in different cities, and we definitely do that. And speaking of international, a lot of people are saying, and they're pretty much putting it out there, that the Dolphins will be most likely playing in Spain next year.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
that'd be amazing.
We don't want to count our chickens before they hatch, but that is rumor right now. Just some real quick points with the Olympics. Quincy Hall, he came back from the 400 meter today, the run, and he actually won gold. He's a first-time Olympian, so he's never even participated in Olympics, and he won gold today and first gold medal. Snoop Dogg is like, dude, if he was to run for president, it would be all hands on deck.
I'd vote for him,
dude. Like he's just the man of the hour. He's with everybody.
He's having a good time.
He's with everyone's mother, husband, baby. Like he's
out there.
He's living his life. Today, the U.S. men's water polo took down Australia to get to the semifinals. So it's always great beating Australia in anything involving water because those Aussies live in water. And women's wrestling are dominating. So Sarah Hildebrand, she won gold in wrestling in her weight class. And then this girl, her name's Amit Ehler. She was the youngest wrestler ever for women to win gold in her weight as well. So our women know how to fight.
No, they're doing great.
They know how to swim.
And as Chef Drew mentioned, the U.S. women's basketball team won their 59th game in a row. They're on the way to a gold medal, so that's going to happen.
The 3-on-3, they won that. So it is.
The men's 3-on-3 didn't do too well. I mean, they could have. I was a great 3-on-3 player. They need help in 2028. I may not be able to provide it, but I could definitely have helped this year. I'm just saying. Yeah. But speaking of men's basketball, the semifinals are tomorrow. Yeah. The first matchup is the home hosting country, France. They're going up against Germany. And then the U.S., the men's, the Americans, they are facing Serbia tomorrow. Interesting in that game, from a South Florida perspective, Nikola Jovic is on
one of our rookies. Essentially one of our rookies, still young.
So, and then...
But you also say with the Heat, we also have Bam Adebayo.
Correct.
So their teammates, which happen a lot in this, are playing against each other. And then our Coach Spo, is one of the assistant coaches. So... it's bittersweet. I mean, even like with Giannis plays for his home country. And that's also a very interesting point to bring up is that you have these people born and raised in America, went to school in Michigan, then college at Texas, but yet they are representing their home country where their parents are from. The guy from Sweden who won the pole vault, born and raised here.
How did we let that guy get away?
But then our swimmer, the guy, the one who wears the glasses, his parents are Polish, and he competes with us. So it's a very fine line, and who are we to judge anybody? But the Olympics, it doesn't really matter where you are born per se, because you can technically represent the country where your parents. So that's why obviously USA is my country, but I do support Italy as well because I have Italian heritage.
I don't like that. I think, first of all, if you're born in this country, you should, only play for the U.S. I understand your parents are from somewhere else, but man, just because you don't make the U.S. team doesn't mean you go play for or participate for. I don't know. It's an Olympic dream. I'm not going to take it away. And obviously, that's what it's all about, right? The Olympic spirit and watching and supporting these athletes as they chase their dreams and goals. So you can't really knock them for it. But as a proud American, I don't want to see somebody who lives here and was born here representing another country.
I can see totally both sides of it.
I get it.
Truly and sincerely. Because, like, for example, if I wanted to fence for Italy, I would be proud representing my grandmother and my culture there, but then I'm fully American. But then you have people who represent the U.S. team who are obviously of Chinese descent. And it's like, how do you think China feels when these people are obviously Chinese descent and they're competing for U.S.? So there's no right or wrong. You go what feels right.
I hear what you're saying. And speaking about feeling right, the French pole vaulter was feeling extra right when he tried to go over the vaults, and he had a little wardrobe malfunction, or a little, how should I say, he had an incident. And you could Google it, you could see it later. But even though he didn't win or medal, he won, because
I want to say
a lot of people saw what he's working with, and I don't think he's going to have a problem finding a date. So let's just put it at that.
Him and Drake. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, it was
very. And Russ, it was most certainly a big deal.
But you even see like these outfits. We were watching the synchronized swimming, like these outfits,
very
obviously
revealing.
They are, but the sports are beautiful sports and everything. But I just know that I slip out of my outfits of some things that I wear, and I pretty much glue tape and everything down. But if they're like holding down by a string, like, it's wild.
I could see that.
So the Olympics, it's been fun. I wish it was every 2 years, but obviously you want to give athletes time to compete or to train. So I really, really enjoy the Olympics.
I do as well. And so again,
they come back to
so the next Olympics is going to be in 2028, obviously every 4 years, and they will be hosted by America. Predominantly Los Angeles is going to be the host city, and it's incredible that the Coliseum, which we were actually in last year, and is 100 years old now, they are going to be hosting their third Olympic Games. So that's incredible and really remarkable. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think it wraps up this Sunday, the Olympics, or when is the
I don't know the date, but
I'm not sure.
It's coming.
If anybody in the room knows when the closing ceremonies are, that's obviously an extravaganza, big night. And yeah, looking forward to, as I mentioned, the events I'm looking forward to. I've loved all the stories, but with the basketball, I love basketball, obviously. And with the U.S. potentially going up against France in France for a gold medal, I'm really eyeing that, because that crowd is going to be electric. Of course, a lot of you, I know Kirk in the room is a Philadelphia 76ers fan, Russ as well. Joel Embiid is representing the United States, even though he has ties to France, and he is getting booed every time he touches the ball. So it's going to be very interesting to see U.S. and France hopefully meeting in that gold medal game. And the U.S. is going to win, because we're going to get all the gold, baby. We're going to get all the gold. USA, USA.
So
sorry.
Thanks. No, the Olympics it's just wonderful, and I will sorely miss it. But good news is that football season is here. Preseason is right upon us, and Dolphins have their first preseason game on Friday against the Falcons here.
Before we close out, we move on to the Dolphins. So they're mentioning in the room, it's going to be 3 p.m. The Olympics Sunday. Yeah. So that's always must-watch TV to see all the athletes exit the Olympic stage.
And also I was reading something that a lot of these players from these third world countries, they come back. They don't even have to be from third world countries. They come back to their country and they're like, top notch. People respect them and all this whole thing. I think it was the Philippines, maybe. Don't quote me, but it was one of these countries where their athletes, if they get gold, they get a house, they get an apartment, they get free food, they get like all of these like accommodations for like forever, which is beautiful, because they should.
That's typical. When you win a Stanley Cup, or we just
you don't get a house.
You don't get a house, but you don't have to ever pay for a meal in town again if you did it right. So
yeah, but they really take care of
yes, they should.
people.
You know, you show up for your country like that.
So let's talk camp. So last week I made a video of Dolphins camp. So if you guys have not seen it, be sure to check it out. I kind of go the ins and outs because, you know, for people who haven't been there or even people who go there every year, things have changed. So I made a video of the ins and outs of what to expect. It's very similar to what it was last year. You know, seating obviously is first come, first serve. It is hot out there, and you want to stay hydrated. So there has been players who have not been practicing. We know that one player who I wanted to see because he's one of my favorite players in the league is my grandma calls him OB. She forgets the J, but OBJ. Another one is also
better than calling him OBYJ as somebody else.
OBGYN, not J.
OBGYN, sorry.
G, not J.
OBJ, just OBJ or Odell.
Another one that people have noticed is Jordan Poyer has not been out there, but it's nothing to be concerned because his wife let us know that, bro, it's just a thumb. He's going to be okay. So those two players that obviously we acquired this year, we have not really seen out there, who I look forward to, you know, suiting them up. The thing with Odell is Odell's not a young spring chicken. And I personally don't want high expectations thinking like we're going to have 10 years with Odell. Obviously, I want to say his prime is still to come, but we all know his prime really was in New York at those years.
Right.
And so we're going to obviously milk out whatever's left of him. But I'm excited to see what he has. And obviously Jordan Poyer, I think that's going to be huge. He's excited to be here. So those two guys, even though we haven't seen them practice, I think that, you know, they will have their time. But we haven't seen some of our other guys either. Waddle hasn't suited up yet.
Right.
So, but you expect that. You can't jump the gun with this. You try to just take it for what it is.
With Waddle, he's got, you know, the injury history. So you want to, again, he has nothing to prove. You already know what he can do.
He's fine.
He's been in the league for 3 years, 1,000 yards every year. You know what Waddle's going to do. With guys like, obviously, Poyer, he was an interesting one because he came from the enemy. You know, he could definitely give us some insight on how to beat those Bills, which we unfortunately have not been able to do.
Yeah.
But hopefully that's coming. And then the big two concerns with us is you know, Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips obviously recovering from season enders last year.
Yeah.
And you just don't know when they're going to be ready. And that's why it's so important that we drafted Chop Robinson. And he's been getting some work in. He's been doing a great job all throughout camp, getting a lot of praise. So we're definitely excited about it.
No, we're super ready for the season to start. Obviously, our home opener is against Jacksonville Jaguars coming down from Duval.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence signed his big contract. So, you know, he's huffing and puffing his chest down here. So we're ready for them. We're ready for the battle of 95.
Absolutely. Sheldon's in the house. So Sheldon,
welcome. Hello.
Sheldon is the winner of our SoFlo guess the opponent.
SoFlo Sports Show. If you guys were not in the beginning, I started the show saying bad calls, balls, and brawls. So I don't know why.
But Sheldon is our big winner. He's going to be coming down for the 49ers game. He got a pair of tickets. So nice to see you, Sheldon. And I also want to highlight Kirk. We were talking about training camp. Last Friday was our members' day, and Kirk was out there, and they had a garage sale. And Kirk really cleaned up. He got a big boy bag for $40, and he pretty much walked away with, you know, Kirk will tell you a huge amount of prizes that he got in that bag, and a lot of cool stuff, a lot of things that the players actually wore. And yeah, great stuff that to be found there.
Yeah, no, the thing is the garage sale that they have, it is fantastic. It is super cheap. You get a lot of great stuff, but the line is something like it makes Disneyland, Disney World, Disneyland, Disney anything look nothing. But even so, we were in the back of the line on Friday, and you still stacked up with some great stuff too. So yeah, people look forward to that. Also this week, DCC has officially launched. Super excited. It is, as you guys know, DCC is Dolphins Challenge Cancer. This year, Dolphins. So it was a Dolphins Challenge Cancer, but they actually went back to the original name. So now it's Dolphins Cancer Challenge, which flows better off the tongue. So either way, people know what you're talking about, DCC. Big E and myself have launched our team again, the Worldwide Dolphin fans, and we're excited to, I almost said co-captain our team. We have a meeting tomorrow at the Hard Rock with other captains, and there's always space on our team for people to join. We had a huge team last year for just being a first-year team, and we look forward to doing it again this year. To raise funds for our team, for my efforts, we are doing 2 fundraisers right off the bat. 2 tickets were donated to me by Tim Woods. I have 2 tickets for the Monday night game against Tennessee. They are aisle seats. I also have a parking pass and 2 member lounges. So if you are looking for 2 seats for the Tennessee Monday night game, aisle seats with a parking pass with member lounge access. I am doing a raffle. $25 will get you 1 raffle ticket. $50 will get you 3. The raffle will be done in a few weeks, and all monies raised will go to DCC. So you can either donate $25 minimally to my DCC page, or Venmo Cash Me, and I'll put it in that way for those tickets. And then we also have another fundraiser going on for DCC.
Yeah, but going back to that,
Yeah.
so it's a member lounge, which we never do because we're tailgating, and so we have our routine leading up to it. But we've been inside the members lounge. We actually were there last year, ironically enough, against the Titans as well. But it's an amazing space. I mean, you got pretty much everything you want in there.
It's clear,
it's a really cool area to hang out pregame, halftime, and postgame. You could be up there while traffic is dying down. So that alone, the members lounge access is tremendous. Just to, again, when the game's not going on, that's the spot you want to be at. So between that, the coveted parking pass, and 2 tickets to see the Dolphins on Monday Night Football, the only game in town, really, there's nothing like it. So that's a tremendous bargain in itself. I don't know if you know what the estimated prize amount is for that, and it doesn't matter. But for a $25 chance to get that, you can't go wrong.
Definitely. So really appreciate those who have supported DCC in the past. Would mean the world if you guys could support again this year. We're hoping for a bigger turnout. And so we are also doing the squares, which Luke can give you a little more details about.
Yeah, so we're doing squares. So of course the first 2 games of the NFL calendar year is going to be the defending champion Kansas City Chiefs. Boo, because they beat us. They'll be hosting the Ravens on Thursday Night Football. The standard defending champ gets to open up the season on Thursday Night Football. And then the very next night, on Friday night, you can have your first ever Friday night Week 1 game. The Philadelphia Eagles are the home team against the Green Bay Packers.
In Brazil.
But exactly, this game is not taking place in Philly or in Wisconsin. This game is going to be played in Brazil. So our first 2 games of the year are 2 amazing matchups back to back. And so we are doing squares. And the way it works is if you a $20 entry gets you a box in each game. And so
let me give you an example. So if I do $20 and I get box 13, I have box 13 for this game and for this game. So 1 entry is good for both games.
Correct. And we will be drawing the numbers live on are we doing a Monday night show or Tuesday night show?
I don't know what we said.
We are doing a show the week of, so we'll be drawing these numbers out live. It's going to be
I can tell you it's going to be Tuesday because Monday it's Labor Day.
That's right.
Tuesday,
yes.
Yeah, we're going to be away. Yeah.
So we'll be doing the show on Tuesday night, and we'll be doing a live drawing of our numbers there. So yeah, if we have about more than half sold already, the games of the boxes. So if you'd like the opportunity to get involved and having a chance to win, you have 8 chances to win as you get a square in each box.
Yeah.
The payout's going to be $160 for the first, second, and third quarter, and then the fourth quarter or overtime, whichever the result is, will get $200. And the best part about it is the remaining money, $640, actually $670, because 3 people have made it a $30 donation. So $670 as of right now is going towards DCC. So tremendous charity, and it's a great thing to take part in.
Yeah, so we do fundraisers all throughout the year, especially during football season, that all lead up to DCC. So those are our first 2. And then at our trips, we'll do raffles. We did a 50-50 raffle in Kansas City that raised, the pot was over $1,400 for DCC. And I make baskets. So definitely a lot of fundraising coming up to hit our goals for DCC.
Yes, Tyler, throwback jerseys out for the Dolphins. First one. Oh, look at this. You are breaking news, Tyler. I did not know this. This is incredible. So apparently, according to Tyler, and I'm going to trust you, Tyler, he is saying that our throwback jersey is out. We're going to be wearing it on September the 12th. So that's the Thursday night game against the Buffalo Bills. And then we will be rocking them again on Thanksgiving night against the Packers. That's amazing. I did not know that. So thank you for breaking that. I was actually hoping another big news that took place, and we'll get back into training camp in a second. But on Monday, Zach Thomas announced that Tim Bowens.
Yeah. Oh, he cried. Oh,
great
I saw that.
Defensive star tackle for the Dolphins. As Zach Thomas, I'm sorry, I got to say it. You're not going to like it, but Zach Thomas referred to him as Tim badass Bowens.
Oh yeah, because I don't like bad words.
So number 95 is going into the Ring of Honor. He's going to become the 28th member of the Ring of Honor at Hard Rock Stadium.
Beautiful.
And I was hoping that they would, use the throwback in that game to honor Tim Bowens. But as you saw there, Tyler is saying that it's going to be worn against the Bills and against the Packers. So those are your two.
Dan in the house. We have another international viewer. So now we have the UK, Robert and Dan. Dan, since you are in the house, I'm going to update you on the medal count for France. Right now, France has, as a courtesy, France has 13 gold, 17 silver, and 21 bronze.
Oh, oui.
Right?
Is that French? Oui. Yeah, right.
Oui,
Dan.
Excellent. So France currently has 51 medals. So you are in fourth place with the amount of medals. USA leads with 94. The People's Republic of China has 65. Australia has, I'm lying to you. I'm sorry. This order is the order of gold. So
you just took away medals from Dan.
I did. I apologize.
What's not oui? What's no?
No. He's still okay. He's still okay. France is doing A-okay.
Okay.
USA has 27 gold medals. People's Republic of China has 25. Australia has 18, and then France has 13. So we have double the amount of gold than France, but France is holding 4. Very pretty. Fourth place, very, very pretty.
Okay.
So they are doing Dan, great.
There you go. There's your medal update from
and
the host country.
They have it in canoeing, cycling, cycle mountain bike, BMX race, judo, fencing, rugby, sports that USA sucks at. You guys are crushing that stuff. Surfing, triathlon. Yeah, we don't run in America like that. Like you guys run the long distance. So France is doing excellent out there. Judo, so they can fight, they can bike. Very good job.
So the Olympics wrap up this Sunday. 3 p.m. is the closing ceremonies.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's their time or our time, but they'll show that at night. They always do the night recap.
3-hour time, it would be like 10 their time.
Yes, I know. It'd be probably.
It's probably 3 o'clock our time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Let's get back to training camp here.
Okay.
I've been at training camp the last 2 days and saw some cool stuff. So Tuesday when I walked in for training camp, of course, these are 2 joint practice sessions with the Atlanta Falcons. I did post a joke out there today that if the scoreboard operator had any kind of a sense of humor, he would have put 28-3 on the scoreboard just to make the Falcons feel bad. But neither here nor there. On Tuesday, I was pleasantly surprised to see 2 great alumni. I'm talking about Lamar Thomas from the U. He signed one of these photo things. And then, man, one of my favorite Dolphins of all time, defensive Dolphins, my namesake, Lewis Oliver was there. Number 25. Lewis Oliver had this unbelievable, memorable play in Buffalo. He intercepted Jim Kelly in the end zone, midway in the end zone, and ran it back for a touchdown, 105 yards in a game that the Dolphins won comfortably. And so I'll never forget that. So meeting these 2 guys, specifically Lewis Oliver, was awesome. And funny part about it is Lewis Oliver is a University of Florida alumni, and Lamar Thomas is a University of Miami, the U alumni. And, of course, UM and UF are going to be playing in the first game of the year, August 31st, in the Swamp in Gainesville. Yeah. And so I asked them if they were going to watch the game together, and they said, yeah, we're going to have to. And they said they were going to make a bet on it. So that was pretty cool to see them and chat with them for a little bit.
Dan, I know which Dan you are, Richmond, but you're also from France. So we also talk about Olympics. So we had to plug in there because, we're Team USA and Team Italy. But no, Richmond, obviously you guys know we are all Team Richmond. We need to get our friend in the Hall of Fame. We're going to be doing a lot of efforts this year. Stuff organized, stuff not organized. So, guys, any plug that you can for Richmond. Richmond's a very humble man. He won't get out there and say, vote for me. Like, he is not that type of person. So we need to be the voice of reason. So Dan does a great job with it. And we are going to continue to spread the word because hopefully this time next year, we will still be in Canton celebrating Richmond because we won't just go and leave. Like that'll be like a whole week.
Yes,
like we will take over Ohio. Like it'll be an Ohio takeover.
We want this so bad for him, and so we're going to keep pushing.
And then Robert from Dallas Fort Worth. Robert is one of my great friends. Robert has had pretty bad weather in Dallas Fort Worth. It's been challenging weather everywhere, but especially down there. So flight nightmares. Traveling has been terrible. My
Yeah, I
brother
remember.
actually got stuck in LAX. But you just go online, you guys can see all the people with flying night, which it's tough because it's the middle of travel season, middle of the summer. People will start school next week. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, Calvin's in the house. So Calvin, welcome.
Hello.
And he
hello.
says to Jeff Cross, number 91. Jeff Cross was money. And Kirk adds to that point that I made about Lewis Oliver. He said that we're going to ride those Buffaloes all the way back to Miami after that pick six. And he sure did. So that was awesome to see.
Yeah. So right now we're in that stage where like it's kind of like Christmas is coming and everyone's just playing cool, knowing that football season's here, and we're all just waiting for it to happen. Obviously, we are in kind of ending baseball season. It's late August, it's mid-August, right? It's mid-August. We know pretty much the teams that are on the cusp. We know the teams that are completely out. Unfortunately, our Marlins are one of those teams that are completely out. I was hopeful in the beginning of the year, but obviously with a lot of injury, a lot of trades, it has taken a turn for essentially the worst for the Marlins. Although we did look good this weekend against the Braves, it has gone right back to old Marlins against the Reds the last two games. But it's a whole different team.
Yeah,
it's a rebuild.
At this point, it's not about winning games. It's about bringing up the young talent and see who could stick on that roster. So we'll see. It's been a challenging year. I want to get back to training camp. I want to talk about how these two joint practices with the Atlanta Falcons went. I was out there with Desi today. Desi joined us. Kirk was having a beach day, so he couldn't join. But no, look, the practices were intense, right? You spend the first part of the training camp hitting each other, and so when you get a chance to get another team with different colors on lining up against you, there's going to be a little bit of tension. Yeah. And so there was a fight yesterday, and today there were three fights, including one of the Falcons. One of the players went in and just pole vaulted into the little fracas that was going on there.
Oh my goodness.
And I saw a helmet fly, so I couldn't see which helmet it was because they're wearing the bubble type protection helmets, but one helmet came flying out of the huddle. So somebody lost their helmet in that
or their
melee.
head.
Or their head. But so it was pretty intense. In terms of the play on the field, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't see a whole lot. The offense did not look good. Got to be honest. I'm not going to put a lot of stock into it because Waddle's not playing. OBJ's not playing.
You're going to call him OBGYN all thing.
I'm just
and guys, no, I am not pregnant. We are not going to any OBGYN appointments. Do not start that rumor.
Sorry.
You're just thinking about, never mind.
I'm just going to call him Odell.
Call him OB. That's what my grandma calls him.
Odell hasn't been out there. Obviously, Waddle hasn't been out. But yeah, look, it's the offensive struggle. I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of people are making mention of this tremendous pass from Tua to Tyreek, which was amazing yesterday. It was a 50-yard bomb. That was incredible. But there's been a lot of misses. Again, got to take it for what it is. It is preseason. They're working out the kinks, but it is important to, get the guys on the field and getting the reps with Tua.
Agreed.
I do want to highlight River Craycraft, who was wearing the orange jersey today, and he's been looking good. Guys like Malik Washington have had a chance to, return punts during practice, so that's a positive. Jonnu Smith, who's a tight end that we got in the offseason through free agency, he's a specimen. He's strong. He's quick. He can catch the ball. So hopefully, this is the year that our tight ends, can get to work and help us out in the red zone and putting points on the board.
When you said tight end, your thought train just kind of went off the sidetrack.
Desi's point, the D is definitely playing with attitude. Pork chop. I keep saying pork chop.
Pork chop.
Well, that's his nickname. But
you guys know when Lou didn't eat dinner when he's talking KFC.
Hey, it's dinner time, baby.
OBGYN.
Big boy's got to
eat. You guys know he's hangry right now. We're gonna end the show soon.
But no, look, Chop Robinson has been right in the middle of it. He's been showing his worth, and he's been doing really well out there. So got to give it to him. And defense has been establishing their dominance and their will. And so that's been good to see.
I don't put so many apples in preseason training camp, because it could be so fluctuating. I just want everyone to be healthy. The worst thing, as you guys know, is to see anybody injured in any of these practices. I know that Falcons guy went out today on the stretcher. So it is important, obviously, to get those reps and everything. But, it's you got to take it with a grain of salt because things can turn very quickly out there.
No doubt. And look, there's positions that we have a lot of depth in, specifically wide receiver, but also in the running back. In the backfield right there, you got obviously Mostert, you got Achane, and now you got Jalen Wright, the rookie.
You got a lot of movement there if you need it.
That's the other thing too. A lot of people kept on saying, "Oh, we got to sign Wilkins." Well, we didn't give that money to Wilkins, but now we got money to pay all these other guys, and we're going to have to pay other guys. We also got to prepare for the future. So, Armstead, you know what he's going to give you. Hopefully, he's healthy this season and can give you, miss the least amount of games as possible. But that's why you drafted a Patrick Paul. He's going to be hopefully the guy that fills that spot. And a Jalen Wright. Look, I know you love Mostert, but
love him.
You do it. But his age is the same as his jersey number. He's 31 years old, and the shelf life of a running back, that's pretty much it. Now in Mostert's respect, he did not start off in the league as a star, so he's got pretty much fresh legs. But eventually, he's going to have to take a back seat, and that's why a guy like Wright's going to have a golden opportunity.
I'm going to say the same thing about you. Eventually, I'm going to take a back seat with you and go for new legs.
Well,
yes, yeah, I shut you up real quick with that. Don't you talk bad about my Raheem?
Hey, Raheem set a record last year, franchise record for touchdowns.
That's my dog.
And he's sitting these practices out as well because we want to keep him fresh. We know he can do the regular season.
Raheem is my guy, man. Yeah. He's so good.
I do want to go back to the wide receiver. So we mentioned the big players already. We mentioned Tyreek, Waddle, Odell, I'll say.
OB, did you say OB?
River Craycraft is huge. You got Braxton Berrios, the rookie, and Malik Washington, and we just brought in Willie Snead. Willie Snead is a veteran, has had a lot of success in New Orleans previously, in Baltimore. Kind of the last couple of seasons have been nondescript, but he's a guy that's proven that he can put up a 1,000-yard season. And so we have so many guys that have proven they can do that. And unfortunately, you're going to have an odd man out here and there. And not to mention Eric Aguzama, who was a rookie that we got a couple of years back, and he's not looking like he's going to stick to the team right now. So there's a lot of decisions to be made, and we're going to start learning those on Friday night when the first preseason game starts. And I hope those young guys that are on the verge get most of the reps.
Yeah, they need to make the roster, obviously. And
Chris Brooks, another guy Kirk mentions. Absolutely. Yep. Yes, he is. So yeah, that's my take on training camp. I would have liked to have seen the offense flow a little bit more.
Are you on any more sessions? Any more camps?
I may have a couple of more sessions up my sleeve. No, I don't know. I worked really hard this summer, and so I needed a couple of days off. I wanted to get out there, support my boys, see my boys. Get out there and connect with all our Finns family.
So the reason why the lights are on right now is because someone has to pay the bills.
What?
Yes. That's the running joke that you guys have seen Lou. And where's Ash? Ash is here, but Ash has to work. Right now, it's a busy time for me at work in my profession. So although I would like to be at camp and I really admire you guys being there and the pictures and everything, I just cannot be there this week. But I make up for it in the season.
You know who I saw today in camp? This is not a player yet, but if you missed our last show, we had Kyle Ulbrich. We had Kyle Ulbrich on our show last week. Great show. If you haven't heard already, he's a punter. He punted at Middle Tennessee State University, and he actually
there's crackers there if you need them.
He actually had the second best punting.
His name's Kyle.
That's what I said.
Kyle.
I said Kyle. Okay. Kyle Ulbrich. He was second in the nation in punting his senior year, and he's trying to latch on. So he's been standing outside the Dolphins training camp facility every day for 12 hours. He's putting in a 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. shift every day.
No, actually now earlier because.
Well, I was getting to that.
Sorry.
He's been there every day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., so a 12-hour shift. And then when he found out that the special teams coach
gets there 2 a.m.
Gets there at 2 a.m., he started coming in at 2 a.m. So he's doing everything possible to get a tryout. He's been on TMZ Sports. He's been on Fox National. Picked up the story on him.
He's so humble. He's such a good kid.
A bunch of the other podcasts. Yeah. So he actually was there today. Somebody gave him a ticket.
Okay.
And he went out there. He was actually mid-row, and he was checking out our current punter right now and kind of, sizing him up. And it's a great story. It's an underdog story.
I hope it works out for him. I really do. Even if it's not Miami, I sure hope he does get his shot in the NFL because everyone deserves a fair shot at their dreams.
Absolutely. Most definitely. That's true. Yep.
So tomorrow, again, guys, there's DCC has launched. I have a captain's meeting tomorrow, so I'm excited to share any updates that I get from being there. Padres are in town this week against the Marlins, and I say that because Luis Ariz, one of our beloved Marlins players, is coming back home. He's a Venezuelan player. Obviously, we have a very heavy population of Venezuelans here. He's very well loved. And so I know it's going to be an emotional reunion bringing him back home. So we will be there on Friday seeing him come back. And it's also 90s night at Lone Depot Park, which 90s, no offense, is the best. 90s is the best.
You enjoyed it more than I did, and most of the people.
How did I enjoy it? I was in diapers. I don't know anything. I don't remember it. I was in diapers. But
the 90s were cool, and the Dolphins were actually very relevant back then. So hopefully, it's coming. 90s are coming back.
And
hopefully.
also fair to say, some of the best logos in South Florida sports come from that decade. So Marlins, if you guys have nothing to do on Friday, if you're not going to the preseason game, come out to Lone Depot Park. It's going to be a great showdown against the Padres, 90s night, and it's going to be cool. It's going to be a cool night.
You know, it's crazy. You mentioned that, and I saw somebody else was putting out there with the retro throwback jerseys and logos and all that. And I got to be honest with you. Of the big four, I know I'm biased, and it's not just because I grew up with them, but I truly believe that every original logo of all our big four sports teams is better.
No, I agree with you 1,000%. So we don't agree on anything like that. So I agree with you.
The Panthers just won a Stanley Cup, and their logo is awesome. It's a very sleek-looking panther with his face to the side, like he's getting ready for a hunt, right? But the original one is the panther like jumping at you in 3D with his claws out. That's awesome. Yeah. The original Heat logo, the rim is black and the colors are more vibrant. It's got the more of an orange, more of a fire look to it, as opposed to this one with a white rim and basically just red and yellow. The original one has some orange in it. The Marlins, of course. I mean, the previous two, or the last two that we've had, not appealing at all. The original teal just pops and was totally awesome. And then the last is the best, the Dolphins. The original Miami Dolphins logo, as opposed to the one now, and obviously still going to support the team no matter what, but you cannot compare the original
1,000%.
Dolphin logo to the new one now.
Sorry. I agree with you more. I'm a very old soul, so I really, going back to it, I really look forward to going to Lone Depot Park this weekend. First of all, we get the jacket, the old school jacket, and just enjoying some 90s tunes, hopefully getting a win against a very tough team. And so we will not be at the Dolphins game, but we will be there in spirit. But we have some 90s night to go to.
Yes, speaking of 90s, Kirk is bringing up a Major League reference, which was awesome. Willie Mays Hayes in Major League, when he's out there for the tryout and he weasels his way in. And then sure enough, the security comes in the middle of the night, takes him out, and he wakes up and he looks and he's like, wow, I've been cut already. So classic a Major League reference there, Desi. I mean, correct. That was awesome. That was pretty cool.
No, it's all about chasing your dream.
It is. And we really do honestly hope he gets his shot. So let's hope he does do that and we'll see how that works out. Also wanted to mention a couple things. We mentioned the Panthers. We have an announcement that we will be releasing at some point.
Soon.
Yeah, soon.
About another South Florida sports team that we have an opportunity for you guys to join us at a very special game. We were not going to get into too much details. It is in October, so at least give you guys that to at least kind of keep somewhat of a date open. But we do have a great event opportunity. Event
that we're going to be hosting, finalizing, and then we're going to be putting together. So keep your eye on that. I also want to mention something that happened a couple of days ago by none other than Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide Pitbull. I don't know if you saw this or not.
I know I did. He bought FIU's naming rights stadiums for 10 years.
He did. So
crazy.
Pitbull, what kind of money does Pitbull have? I mean,
he does well.
He does really well, right? I mean, he is Mr. Worldwide for a reason. He's got some cash because if you go to an FIU game this year, that's Florida International University.
They are also west from here.
They are also the Panthers, but that stadium is now called Pitbull Stadium.
It's cool. It's really crazy. Really cool. We've gone to basketball games there. It's average, right? It's not the big D1 SEC ACC feel. It's a cool atmosphere. It's good to bring kids there, camp day, but to have Pitbull actually, his name is
it's on the outside of the stadium. It's pretty impressive and definitely will get a lot of fame for that alone.
No, it's
and then Pitbull also doubled down. He was on a radio show, and they asked him, what are the Dolphins going to do? And he flat out said, hey, listen, the Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Dale.
He said, exactly. Yeah, he said it like that. He said, the Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl this year. Dale. So, hey.
We'll teach you guys Cuban another episode.
That's a whole other show.
You can use Dale after any set. You can be like, we're going to go to the grocery store today. Dale. we're gonna today it's gonna be a wonderful day. Dale. So anytime you need like a little spunk in your sentence, all you have to do is say dale. Be like, Lou, today's gonna be a great Thursday. Dale.
Yeah, it pretty much you're
You're emphasizing what you're saying.
Emphasizing, yes. Whatever you said, dale.
Like
So
heck yeah, kind of like
yes.
bad words like yeah.
Yep.
So if you spunk them up, say Dale, and it's spelled Dale. So if you see Dale, don't think it's like Chippendale. It's Dale. All right.
Yes.
Enough of my education.
Desi's saying that he would rather be called the Vega Coliseum after his last name. So we'll see. That's in the works, Desi. And yeah, so words like that are huge. Obviously, there's a lot of Miami slang, if you will. I'm not sure if Russ is still in the room, but and Kirk might know this out of Philadelphia. The big thing there is John. So whenever you want to say that thing or something, or you want something, they'll say, I want that John. Or how about that John? John is like the big word.
Jersey,
in
we say
Philly slang.
Use.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's in Pittsburgh, too, I heard.
No, inaccurate. Pittsburgh, they say yins.
Yins, sorry. Yins, you're right.
Don't get us confused with any other place.
Well, right, yeah. Uses the like soprano slang, like, hey, you's going to come over here. Right? Is that what
how can I give you an example of you?
I think I just did.
No, you didn't do a good one.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to go to the Aventura Mall, but yous guys are going to go to Dolphin Mall. So it's like instead of saying y'all would be equivalent to use.
Okay.
And you say it like UZ, like the chip name. But Pittsburgh does not say that.
Well, see, so Kirk says what? It's
Yins. I told you that.
Okay.
Yins. Yeah, and one of my college boyfriend, God rest his soul, was from Pittsburgh, and Yins. And he would say Yins. And I would say,
so
what?
Well, how would you say yins, though? What's the
y'all. So yins, y'all, and yous, it's the same.
So I say
yins are crazy. Y'all are crazy. Yins are crazy.
Are yins going to the game tonight?
Yeah, yeah. Are y'all going to? So you could say, are y'all going to the game? Or yous going to the game? Or yins going to the game?
Kurt, can you back that up, man?
Yins, they can for sure. They got me. 1,000%.
Are yins watching the Olympics?
Are yins gonna go to McDonald's? Yeah.
Okay.
Are y'all? You say y'all, yins, yous. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. 1,000%.
I guess
No. I am born and raised Northeast. I'm very. Yins is like, y'all, thank you. Please, when are you going to believe me? You're marrying me in 6 weeks. You got to start taking my word.
The Utes. There you go. That's
the Utes?
My cousin Vinny. That's a classic line. The Utes. From my cousin Vinny.
Yes, that one too. No, I love accents. Accents are a beautiful thing. Mine comes out more often than, especially when I'm mad, man. When I'm around my family as well. Great movie. But yeah, so yins, utes, and then dale.
That is a great movie. Word of the day is yins. And it is a great movie, Desi. You're right.
Gonna be going around yins. They're gonna be like yins, bins. No.
Well, he's got a whole bunch of like they call water wooter. Hey, the wooter.
Who says that?
Philly. They say wooter. And obviously Boston has their park and con. So a lot of fun accents out there.
Accents are beautiful.
Yeah, and Miami's got its own special. And when I say special, I mean like
women call everybody bro. Like I even feel like I call my boss sometimes bro. Like instead of saying like, hey, you da da da, bro.
Yeah,
we just call bro. Everybody's a bro.
That's very Miami.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's a bro. Speaking of, anyways,
Jimmy's and sprinkles. That's right. Yeah. Absolutely. That's another Philly term. So right. There you go.
So what do you say? You messed up so many words tonight. OBGYN, OBJ.
I did.
Pork chop instead of Chop Robinson. You need to eat. So.
Yeah, it's about that time. I'm getting hungry. But now listen, we are getting closer and closer to the football season, and we can't wait for it to start. Obviously, the first preseason game is this Friday night against the Atlanta Falcons,
at the Hard Rock,
who they've been scrimmaging against these last 2 days. And what you want to see out of training, out of these preseason games, is first and foremost, nobody to get hurt.
Obviously.
Knock on wood everywhere, and just see the young guys trying to make their names, get out there and showcase themselves, and so we can build for the future as well.
Yeah, no, it's all about figuring out who belongs what and staying healthy, and then getting ready, obviously, for the meat of the season, and may the best team win.
Well, and that'll be us.
Obviously.
And speaking of the best team winning. That's America, baby.
Please,
USA, as we close out the Olympics, we want to get some more gold medals. We want all the gold medals. and we want to see our Dolphins bring home that silver Lombardi
We can't be
as we want.
super greedy though. I mean, we do have a Stanley Cup, but we will be super greedy.
Yins, yous, y'alls cannot be super. I will. I'm greedy. I want that Lombardi, and I hope that the Dolphins could lift it come February in New Orleans.
New Orleans, my favorite city in
New
the whole
Orleans.
entire world.
That's another accent that you
I
want to talk
just
about.
love that city.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Well, I hope
Go ahead,
everybody.
close them out.
Yeah, I hope you
I almost
guys.
said close them out in prayer.
No prayers here.
That too.
Now, I hope you guys. Thank you guys for again joining us. We got a lot of stuff coming as the season gets closer. Please like the channel if you haven't done so already, and subscribe. And we will catch you next time. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of the week and weekend upcoming. Good night.
Bye.